This week's parsha presents Parshas Teitzei. I would like to say a few words about the parsha. The yeshiva over here is run by Rabbi Channon. I'm the chairman, Moshe Engel, and we study here at the yeshiva Hashiveinu. The parsha says as follows: Ki teitzei למלחמה על אויביך ונתנו אדוני אלוהיך בידיך ושרת השבוע וראית בשבוע אש שטיפת תואר וחשקת בה ולקחת לך לאישה. The parsha opens when we go for war, and it's not necessarily talking about a war in Am Israel. It's talking about milchemet reshut. Milchemet reshut, it's a war that you do. You could go if you want, and if you want, you don't have to go. Really. But basically, a war that you decide to go to. And then it says, if you saw in this war the Shet Yefato, and you want her, you see a nice girl, and you decide you want to take her, for yourself. ולקחת לך לאישה, but you take her for a wife. Now Rashi says, לא דיברה תורה אלא כנגד יצר הרע. ממנה הקדוש ברוך הוא מתירה, יסענה באיסור. אבל אם נשאה, סופה להיות סודה, שנאמר אחריו, כי תהיה להם לאיש, וסופו להורים לנבן צור למורד, לקח, נסלחו בראשו. So Rashi is telling us that the Torah was speaking about the Yetzer Hara, because we know that if Hashem is not going to let us do this action in the war, take her for a wife, then the fighters are going to take this girl whether it's allowed or not. Because we know that when people go out to war, they have very high blood pressure, all their blood is moving in their body, and the Yetzer Hara is very, very strong. But however, the parsha says afterwards, and what the Rashi brings here, that in the end of the day, if he does marry her, they're going to have a ben soror umoreh. The Gemara brings down that a ben soror umoreh would kill when he's 13 years old. He has to eat a whole lot of meat and not listen to his father, and he needs a din. It's very complicated. The Gemara also says that once in 70 years there was such a situation as ben soror umoreh. It never really happened. So it comes to show us, just like similar in the way what we said in Parashat Shoftim, the whole idea with the Yetzer Hara, about listening to Minat, that sometimes we try to find a way and say, you know what, maybe the Yetzer Hara is good for me. Because a lot of times when we do sins, we could admit that we know we're doing something bad, but we say at least we're enjoying it. But sometimes the Yetzer Hara is so smart because he's been there much longer than us, and he could try to convince a person that really what he's doing is a good thing. Because a person goes out to war and he says, you know what, it says you're allowed, maybe something that's good is going to happen from this action. So that's why in the end of the day we see that they have a ben soror umoreh. That's a very terrible thing, because if you think about it, that they're taking out a kid that is 13 years old for death, and you say, what's with the future of this kid, or maybe he could change things in the future. So you say, maybe give him another chance. But the Torah explains us that with the ben soror umoreh, the Torah knows that he's going to grow up and he's going to do even bigger sins. He's going to steal. If he's not going to have money, he might kill his parents because of that, because he's going to want to eat his meat and drink his wine all day. So that's why the Torah, because in the way they care about this kid, so they say at least he's going to die now before he has all these sins, and he's not going to die when he has all these sins, because we believe that our final stop is in the next world to come. So we say, you know, if we could kill him when he's 13, at least he will die when he has some mitzvot involved in his life. I would like to say at this time of Elul, Rosh Hashanah, how we should try to do mitzvot, help each other understand that we're here and we have a lot of challenges, and it could be very hard. And not only it could be, it is very hard, you know, because particularly in these days that we have so much going in the outside world, we could really lose our focus in a second and fall for the Yetzer Hara and get all completely lost. And a person should know that even if he falls a lot of times, he shouldn't fall even more, because one of the tricks of the Yetzer Hara is to tell a person, oh, you're so bad, you did this bad sin, God doesn't love you anymore, God doesn't care about you anymore, it's not worth it for you even to do a next mitzvah. Just like it says, mitzvah go'olet mitzvah, ve'avera go'olet avera. So we should know from here and try to, even if we did fall, obviously not to fall on purpose, but even if we do fall, just like every hill has a way to get back up and down. So if a person falls, he should get back up and forget about what he did and do real tshuva and tell Hashem, I'm going to try not to do this sin again. And really what Hashem wants is us to love each other and to love Him. And when that strong love comes together and we really realize the love we have for God, then we try to really not do these sins, because we know that Hashem loves us and He's our Father that cares about us and He's the one who gives us everything. And we shouldn't take nothing for granted. I would like to bless everyone with a happy Rosh Hashanah. Eat all the simanim. Remember that God is the King of us, that's one of the biggest points of Rosh Hashanah. And בעזרת השם תכתבו ותחתמו לחיים טובים ולשלום בספרם של צדיקים. Good evening.